has a whole different version that played out in the press. Didn't she come out and I think she explained more about what that offer was, and it was actually far below market value, I
She
think.
has.
Anyhow, we learned that, right? And then the show is finally, we're moving on from Sandoval and Ariana and Raquel when Lala and Schwartzy go to Creations and have acai bowls and whatever ginger shots. And he confesses that he made out with Scheana when he was like dating Katie one time in Vegas. And this is shocking news to Lala Kent. And that kicks off
Shocking
a great
news.
episode.
Kicks off a great episode. Before that, we do see Ariana trying to poach Anne, but really Anne's offering herself up for the job, which is lovely. And Schwartzy, she does reveal that she would break Schwartzy's dick if she were to go there with him. You know, they joke about this is a date, and she's like, I'd break your dick. And he does, admit that. And I mean, last week on Patreon, I compared Schwartz to Joe Benigno, the Sages. Do you know my friend, the Sage? Mods
Yeah.
the Sage. I compared Schwartzy to Joe Benigno on the Patreon, saying that we have two small dicks. And I asked the audience who has a smaller dick between Joe Benigno, the Sarge's husband, and Schwartz.
What they say.
It's a tough call, believe it or not. A lot of people said Schwartz and a lot of people said Benigno, because
Wait, and
yeah.
are you meaning in literal size, or are you meaning that they both seem just as like women just wear the pants in every relationship they have?
All of the above. Two small dicks, women wearing the pants. I mean it in every way imaginable. It's a small dick. That's Schwartzy. It's gotta be small, girl. Um, but sometimes the women tell me that size doesn't matter. I don't know. That's what I hear. A whole nother story. Excuse me.
It
Yeah.
it doesn't size like okay, there's just two extremes, right? There is micro penises, and I haven't been with a
Yes.
micro. I've had a guy that had a
Really?
never like looked like a small dick chick.
Well, no, I mean, like,
Really, you
your numbers, sorry, excuse me. I see you put the sunglasses on for everyone watching on YouTube. She puts those on because I guess it's a racy conversation. People are still going to know it's you, dear. What was I going to say? No, I mean, I think my numbers are probably, hundreds times what yours are. So just the process of elimination, if you've been around the world and then some, you see a few micros. But go on. Somehow
okay,
I've
so
to
you've been with some
digress.
micros. I mean, do you mind a micro? I mean, I've been with some small penises and I've been with some very large ones. And, the large ones are great at first. And then it's like, it's a lot of schween. I mean, it's a lot.
I
And
once was with this guy who was so fucking hot, like gorgeous, and he had a micro. And it's like, you know what? God giveth and God taketh away. FYI. Just FYI. This is what happens, guys, when I'm exhausted. So God giveth and God taketh away. Do you believe this? This kiss between Schwartzy and Scheana? You
yeah,
believe
don't
this?
you? I mean, I don't know. You know this show better than I do, but I, yeah, yes.
I don't know. I don't know. How could this, I don't know. I'm not sure. How could this not have come out? I mean, that's the thing. How could this not have come out all these years? As you said when we started season 11, how could this have not come out? They were there since day one.
Because they all drink and use so many drugs that, I mean, aren't some things hazy? Aren't some things like hazy? And here's the thing. Do I think this was a passionate, intentional makeout the way that Tom Schwartz described it? No. Do I think that this was like Scheana said, oh, sure, he pulled me over to the corner and he kind of kissed me and I reject or what, kind of rejected his advances because I was there for whatever cheerleading competition for my sister. I think that was probably more it. So it was never classified as a kiss, really. But I think when the producers were sitting them all down going, all right, so what else have we got? And Tom Schwartz probably said, well, there's one time, Scheana and I almost kissed. And they were like, perfect. We'll take that. It's going to be a passionate makeout. We'll go from there. That's what I think.
Listen, Lala, she's been at this long enough. She knows what she's doing. I love how she's just like, what? Like she's, look, they all know how to produce the show from within. So I love how she was like, oh, no, this is actually something. And I do believe that Schwartz is that clueless that he's like, oh, wait, this is becoming a storyline right before my very eyes. Oh, wait, hold on. Cat's out of the bag, Schwartzy. He kissed her. Okay, well, listen, for the sake of this argument in this episode, I will go with the fact that it's real. I'm not so sure. Could be made up. I think it's probably made up. But apparently they kissed, and Lala is, listen, Andy Cohn said, all you stay tuned. He's like, Lala is the voice of reason this season. I mean, she is the voice of reason on this episode. She's just like, what? What? So then, yes. So that happens. What else? We have this party where have you ever been to Ziggy? I
No,
pass by.
I've never been there.
I pass by Ziggy all the time. It's here, like in my backyard in Hollywood. We won't reveal where you live. You don't like that. But it's close to where I live, darling. So we'll go to the Zigster. We'll take
All
some
right, let's
pictures
go
for
to
the kids. So James gets a job. He's DJing. Did you see James got with the big dogs 2 weeks ago? He was with Paulie D opening up. And Mr. Kennedy posted, I'm with a legend. Listen, James does okay each night. Paulie does 10 times better. You know what I'm saying? But our boy was out with Paulie D. He got a gig, but here he was at the Ziggy Hotel and spinning the tunes. What'd you think
the
about his
toll.
what'd you think about his DJ skills over there?
I think I'd have to see him in person to see how it really flows. But I mean, it looked fine. Everybody was having a good time. I never like a girl group of bullies, and I'm a fan of
Mm-hmm.
Joe. Even though I get messages, Joe is a weirdo. People slide into my DMs to tell me I'm on an island and I'm the only person that likes Joe. I think Joe is weird. She has ADD. I think you can tell that. But she came to this DJ party. Now, I would say too, James did not seem thrilled to see Schwartz. Schwartz went over, was like, hey, man, leans in, and Kennedy's sort of like, hey, how are you? So maybe things still a little tense between them. Allie is out there on the dance floor. I mean, she's trying to get the crowds going. What a great girlfriend. And then
Very pretty girl.
beautiful.
And
And
by
then
the
we,
way, you do not approach the DJ booth and
oh,
interrupt Mr. Kennedy at work, Sarah. You should know
pardon
that.
me. Okay, well, whatever. I never care. I go up to these celebrities all the time. As you know, I was very triggered because I saw Ken on last night's episode. And, of course, Ken at BravoCon would not take a photo with me.
Oh, I've been
So
out with you. You go up to them all, girl. Chasing, who is it? LeVar Burton out of Craig's or something for the. I'm like, who the fuck is she
he
chasing her? Then we sit down next to someone. She's like, this is someone famous. I'm like, it's not. Turns out it
he
was
was. He's
somebody.
HBO Hacks.
Oh
He's the
God.
guy in HBO Hacks. Anyhow,
Oh, I don't know that person. Go
great
on.
show. Uh no, I thought that was a scene that I hope we get some resolution because Joe ends up leaving crying. And I thought Scheana was a
Yes.
bitch. I thought they were a bitch to her. They were